Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first annual Human Services Community Impact Meeting. My name is Kara Leger. I'm the Operations Manager for the Human Services Department, and we'd like to start off our event tonight by thanking everyone who has joined us. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule, especially after working hours. We really appreciate you making the time to be here with us tonight. So at this time, I would like to invite up Father Henry Mancuso. He is one of our former board members, and he is a retired Catholic priest. And we'd like to invite him up to the podium for the invocation.
And truly tonight is a celebration of so many volunteer hours, paid hours, but people working together to make things happen for the good in our community. And most of us come from a place where we recognize that there is one who helps us get from point A to B, and so we begin with celebration, prayer, and prayer of thanksgiving. God our Father, without you, we have nothing, we can do nothing. What we have accomplished, we recognize that you were with us step by step, offering wisdom and guidance, courage at times when we were discouraged, hope when we saw no solution. We are a thankful people for all that we have. And at the same time, we recognize that there are people who lack adequate housing, food, education. And we want to unite to respond to those needs as you would have done, as you do each day as the Good Shepherd. Bless this night, the food that we've already consumed, our fellowship, and our hopes for the future. Let everything be done and begin with your inspiration, continue with your help, and reach success under your guidance. We pray this in the name of the God who has created us, redeemed us, and sustains us. Amen.
And now I will ask our outgoing board president, Michelle McInnes, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, Kara. Please face the flag and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you both. So the purpose of this event here tonight is to give everyone an opportunity to see what it is we do in the Human Services Department. But before we get into that, we would like to recognize some of our attendees. Can I have any police jurors present please stand? All right. Members of the parish administration team, if present. And if not, elected and appointed officials. Some of you may have to stand up again for that. And then last but certainly not least, our Human Services Advisory Board members, both past and present. Again, thank you all for being here. So the Human Services Department is charged with addressing the needs of low to moderate income individuals within our community. And so in order to address how we have done that over the past few years and how we've grown, we're going to give you a little bit of our agency's history. So as some of you may know, many of the direct services to citizens within our parish are provided directly through the Human Services Department. But our department has grown over the years. We haven't always been shaped or organized the way that we are today. So in the 1970s, the parish applied for funding through the Comprehensive Employment and Training Act of 1973, otherwise known as CETA, in order to provide services such as employment counseling, occupational skills training, and on-the-job training. This initiative was an important step in our workforce development efforts and was also a big catalyst in the creation of the American Job Center as it is known today. Another step in creating our department was the development of the Housing Department. That was the very first department in the parish dedicated solely to a social program. And to this day, its operations make up a huge portion of our daily activities. Later, the parish took over some of the programs that had been previously under the Gulf Assistance Programs of Southwest Louisiana. We were then designated, after we took over those programs, as the parish's Community Action Agency, which is a designation we still hold to this day. Over the years, various funds were available and became unavailable, and so we either lost or gained programs. And one major addition during that time, since those years have passed, since the 70s, was the creation of the Transit Department in the year 2000. The next major change, and also the most recent, was under the leadership and vision of our current parish administrator, Mr. Brian Beam. In 2011, the Human Services Department was created as an umbrella established department which offers a variety of services utilizing grants funds to provide services directly to citizens within our community. Since then, we've grown in size, scope, and efficiency, making us better able to carry out our mission of meeting community needs through our various offices, initiatives, and collaborative networks. We do all of this under the leadership of our director, Mr. Tarek Polite, who I would like to recognize at this moment. We really could not do the work that we do without him. So. All right, and now I'm going to turn it over to our outgoing board president, Michelle McInnes. She's going to lead the board members in reciting the promise of community action and say a few words before passing the gavel to our newly elected president, Mr. Anthony Bartie.
Good evening. I'd like to echo my thanks to you all for attending tonight. It is our tradition at our advisory board meetings to repeat our mission and say it out loud. So if you all would join me in repeating, yeah, it's on the board. Community promise, the promise of community action. Community action changes people's lives, embodies the spirit of hope, improves the communities, and makes America a better place to live. We care about the entire community, and we are dedicated to helping people help themselves and each other. This always reminds us as we're doing the business as the advisory board about what we're here for every day, what our staff and our partners are there to do every day. And I will say a few words. I have served on this advisory board for over 10 years, so about 2011, I did start working with the department, and there has been a lot of changes and a lot of good deeds done every day. I'm proud to have served for the past 10 years on this advisory board representing my community of Moss Bluff and Gillis, and I look forward to seeing how the program continues to serve our community and how it grows in the future. But now it is my time to turn over the gavel. Come on up. And I know the department is in good hands.
Oh, can I say a few words, huh? Thank you, Ms. McGinnis. Thank you for your service. And y'all, she gave me a gavel. But the short part about it is she told me I had to give it back after a year. But anyway, it's a pleasure to serve. I was elected approximately 4 years ago, and one of the first things my fellow juror, Tony Guillory, told me to do was, you need to get on the Human Services Board. And that was one of the best things Tony Guillory ever told me, other than him talking about himself. But I really enjoy it, and it's just a great testament to the hard work that Mr. Polite and his staff does. They do a really tremendous job for the citizens of our parish. And so thank you. Do I keep it tonight? You can keep it right. Oh.
Good evening. I'm Erica Dozier, the Programs Manager for the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury Human Services Department. The Community Service Block Grant is the most flexible grant that is utilized in the Human Services Department to provide a variety of services to our community, helping college students with tuition, supplies for work, such as a TWIC card or purchasing uniforms, assistance with infrastructure needs, food pantry, as well as mental health services. Let's take a look at the clip.
Salt and Light Collaborative is a nonprofit organization. We provide counseling services, individual counseling, couples counseling, family counseling, and group counseling. We also have several community programs. We applied for the CSBG grant through our AWARE program. We really felt like there was a need for services for children in schools. One thing that we found with the services that we offered was that parents wanted to use them but didn't necessarily have access to them because a parent may have to take off of work to bring their child in for counseling during school hours. CPSG has been integral in the work that we do, from helping us to be able to enable us to go into the schools and work with the kids, even just working with the classrooms that we've been working with. We're starting with about 4th, 5th, 6th grade classrooms. We've already identified children that can benefit from individual services. And the children are identifying needs in the community that are both sociological and psychological needs that need to be addressed. So that's helping us get information that helps our children, helps our families, strengthens our communities.
What's so unique about the Community Services Block Grant is that this funding source provides services to low-income families here in our community. And that can be anything from providing assistance for tuition. If maybe this person is now connected to a job and they're needing assistance purchasing uniforms for their first day of work, to someone in our community who's maybe needing assistance with understanding their role as a parent, we're able to provide that service through this initiative. The Community Service Block Grant is a very unique part of what we do in human services. Through our community partnerships and direct service delivery model, the Community Services Block Grant has aided multiple families within our community to remove barriers to achieve economic empowerment and self-sufficiency. Throughout this evening, you will hear information regarding the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, the Low-Income Housing Energy Assistance Program, and the Calcasieu Parish Transit Program. For more information regarding the services provided in the Human Services Department, please reference the annual report. I would now like to invite Nicole Miller, Program Manager for Disaster Housing Recovery.
Thanks. Good evening, everyone. I'm here to talk to y'all about the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program began in 2020 as a response to the pandemic. It was a COVID relief program. We started the program through funding with from the U.S. Department of the Treasury. Brand new, never been done before. We were creating something out of completely nothing. We weren't really sure how to go about doing that, but over the course of a year, we managed to get the chains moving forward. The ERA program was different from many other programs we have. We don't, with the LiHEAP program and with the CSBG program that you'll hear about tonight, those have tons of restrictions, lots of things that keep them from becoming all that we dreamed they could be. The Emergency Rental Assistance Program was thrown out quickly in the middle of the pandemic, and we were quickly scrambling to figure out how to make it work. So we had a lot more flexibility to allow that program to become what we really needed it to be over the next year, because shortly after that program came out in 2020, we had the hurricanes. We no longer really needed pandemic relief, we needed hurricane relief. And as we know, our community development, our CDBG DR funding didn't come down, our disaster dollars didn't come down quickly enough, so our ERA dollars were able to pivot and provide the assistance that the community needed to regain housing for households here. Because we weren't tangled up in all of these other program restrictions that we saw in CSBG and in other CDBG DR programming, we were able to do things a little bit differently. We developed some unique partnerships in the community, and so we have a clip to show you a little bit about those partnerships that we developed through the program. The ERA program has been in operation since 2020. My name's Nicole Miller. I'm the Director of Disaster Housing Recovery at Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. I work with the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, where we provide rental assistance to folks who are experiencing financial distress. We work with them on providing back rent and forward rent, and we also can pay utility bills to create a housing stability for the household.
What I found is there's lots of people that are out there experiencing homelessness that have jobs. There may have been one or two things that happened in their life that changed their situation. My name is Elisa Stevens. I am the Homeless Outreach Coordinator for Catholic Charities of Southwest Louisiana. We've been able to develop a partnership with the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury in regards to the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. That program has been a great blessing to the individuals, to our program, and to the individuals that we work with.
Here at the Phoenix Apartments, we're one of the organizations that partner with the parish for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. One of the things that I do when we recognize a resident has hit financial distress and is unable to pay their rent, I work with them to complete the application. We do work hand in hand with the staff with the parish to make sure that those applications are moving forward. The residents have provided all the information that they need. We have been able to help multiple residents get through some struggles that they've had, but one that sticks out in particular is she is a contract nurse who has always worked and paid her rent on time. She had an unfortunate accident where she fell and broke her femur and was unable to work for quite a while. She got behind in her rent and was a little embarrassed about it. So when we served her a 5-day notice to vacate, she just assumed that she needed to sell everything in her house to either pay her rent or she was going to have to move out. She just broke down in tears and was so thankful and so grateful that the program was there to help her. And the staff over with the parish was so willing to help her get approved and just help her through that whole process. And she is now healing and back to work and back to being a model resident.
Calcasieu Emergency Rental Assistance Program has assisted 1,400 households since it started in August of 2020, and we provided more than $6.7 million in assistance to those households. So you can see from the video, we do great stuff with this program. It's really amazing the number of lives we're able to touch and the folks we transform. So what we're talking about tonight, right, is community impact. So when I thought about community impact with this particular program, there were 3 things that stuck out to me. Of course, we help people remain in housing, right? We're paying their rent. We're keeping them in their location, stabilizing their situation. We've done that, as I said, since inception, we've helped 1,400 families. Just in the last year of this report, we've helped 952 families stay in their housing as a result of this program. That's tremendous. We catch up their back rent, and we pay 2 months of forward rent. So we're really stabilizing that household and helping them to remain thriving in our community. We also have helped people to return to community. So remember I said we pivoted, we had to shift a little bit because we had this huge hurricane that transformed everything. So 7% of the applications we've been assisting over the last year have been people who are returning to our community, who were unable to live in their home after the hurricane, and now they're coming back. They're seeing opportunity, and we're opening doors and bringing people back into our community. We also help landlords. We're helping landlords thrive by providing this direct assistance. We've provided in the last year $4.2 million, and since the program's inception, over $6.7 million. And this isn't our administration. This is money in the hands of landlords, direct assistance to those landlords to help them pay for families to remain in housing. I wouldn't be able to walk away without saying that this is no small task for starting a program and going to that kind of acceleration. And the reason why we were able to do it is because of the staff in this room, because of the amazing partnerships we've created. We've had great staff with the Emergency Rental Assistance Program to move the process forward. And we also have had great partnerships from United Way of Southwest Louisiana, Catholic Charities, JLH Financial Coaching, and IAF Consulting. We appreciate all of them. We truly believe that at our office we create miracles every day. We don't leave a day without there being hugs and tears all in the same day, and we appreciate you being a part of that.
The Low-Income Housing Energy Assistance Program, along with the Low-Income Housing Water Assistance Program, has been a vital resource for citizens in our community. Having to deal with ensuring your family's protection from the spread of COVID-19, as well as increases to utility bills due to inflation, along with disaster recovery efforts, the LiHEAP program has made a significant impact assisting our citizens with their utility and water bills. We have had citizens come into our office with water bills as high as $1,500 needing payment assistance. Having access to water and energy is essential to a person's health and livelihood. Let's look at the clip.
My grandson caught COVID, so I had to miss work to quarantine with him. And then after that, I caught COVID, and that was some more time off from work, and my job didn't pay me for the time that I was out with COVID, so it was just like, what do I do? Where do I go? I'm a single parent. I raised my 2 kids, and I had to start raising my grandkids from babies. And I get Social Security, and I work part-time. And it just got to where things were difficult. It was like I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, trying to figure this, and it was stressful, and a lot of times I would just want to give up. I don't remember how I found out about this program, but when I did find out, I came and I was needing help. I was just frustrated and not knowing what to do or where to go. And so when I came here, the people here made me feel like everything was going to be okay. Some places you might try to get help where they look down on you, or you feel that you're less than, and where they judge you instead of trying to see what's really going on in your life, because life is difficult, and a lot of times we have to just do what we can when we can. This place was really a blessing to me. The LiHEAP program helped me with my utilities and my water when I really needed it the most. A lot of people look at it as a handout, but to me it's a hand up.
What's unique about the Human Services Office, we have what's considered an umbrella organization, a lot of services under one roof to assist our families here in our community. One of those is our LiHEAP program. What's so unique about this service, it ties needed resources to individuals who are struggling to pay their utility and water bills. We've been able to provide assistance to over 5,000 families here in our parish, and it's just it's been impactful service that we're providing, and we want to continue to meet the need of our community. People are welcome to call our office for more information about how to get connected to the Utility Assistance Program and how we can serve their family. I would now like to invite Wendy Robinson, Calcasieu Parish Transit Program Manager.
Good evening, everyone. How much time I got? Okay, my name is Wendy Campbell Robinson, and I am the Transit Manager for Calcasieu Parish Police Jury. I have the great pleasure of leading an awesome group of people that get people from throughout Calcasieu Parish, transport them all over the parish whenever we can. And before I start everything up, I just want my staff to stand up. Thank you, thank you. They look great tonight. Everybody does, but they look really good because they normally wear uniforms. So they look really good. Thanks, guys. Our program is funded by the Federal Transportation Department, and those funds come through the Louisiana Department of Transportation. We are funded with what we call a 5311 rural grant and also a 5316 JARC grant for jobs. So we transport individuals throughout Calcasieu Parish, whether under our rural transportation for doctor's appointments, treatments, or just going to the grocery store, or even if we can accommodate it, leisure, what we call leisure rides. We also transport individuals to work. Under our JARC application, we transport individuals from Vinton all the way to Lake Charles for work every day, because Vinton doesn't have a transportation service. The only transportation service in a municipality within Calcasieu Parish is the city of Lake Charles. And we do transport some inside the city limits of Lake Charles. Calcasieu Parish is over 1,000 square miles, so that's a lot of miles that we have to transport people, and my staff does a great job. They're very compassionate about what we do. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and lead into our clip.
Hello, I am Brett Joseph with the Calcasieu Parish Transit System.
Love it. It's perfect. Perfect.
You sure?
Yeah, I love it.
I was still a little nervous. I was trying to. Originally started, my mother needed a ride to the doctor, and I found out that these guys actually take people to the doctor, and I would have to take off my regular job to bring her. So when they had an opening, I applied for it and I was hired.
I can always count on them, and everybody is so wonderful and nice.
We have a lot of people that needs transportation to and from, and I hope this program is around when I get a little older too.
Some people don't have transportation. Some don't drive. So it is a very helpful thing to have that.
One of the benefits is just like I say, taking them to and from their appointments. Some of them that have special needs that may require a wheelchair or lift. So, you know, when you go to pick up someone and without us, they kind of explain to us that they probably, couldn't make it.
It's reliable for me.
You kind of form a bond with them. You pick them up, you can't help but feel like you know them after 3 or 4 times. And you feel like, they're all family or something.
It comes directly to the house. I don't have to have a bus stop or anything like that. I am thankful for transit, for picking me up and bringing me back home.
All right, now this street here, I'm gonna go up a little incline right here, and then after that it'll be smooth. There you go.
Wouldn't know what I'd do without it.
My mother actually wanted me to be her personal driver after she found out that, we take them. So she would call and say, I want to make an appointment. And she didn't tell him I was her son. She'd say, well, can I get Mr. Brett to bring me?
And we still have people that kind of try to have their certain drivers, but thank you for that. Thanks, Brett, for doing that. Our transit program within our last fiscal year, we actually served over 5,000 citizens, bringing them to work, and that's a trip. So a trip for us is picking them up and then also bringing them back. And we also service over 6,000 trips with just taking people to doctor's appointments or just grocery stores or leisure rides and those things. So our staff is very busy. For us and my staff, we actually say this is a mission for us. This is something that we do because we love doing what we do, and we love our community, and we love serving our community. At this time, I would like to recognize, one of the things we do in transit is we recognize some of our drivers. We have 3 categories. We have what we call Rising Star. We also have what we call our Extra Mile, and also our Safety Awards. So give me a little time, but I would like to call Mr. Joseph Torrey Brown. Let me just say, Tori is receiving the safety award. And let me tell you something. Tori has probably been working with us 2 years now, going on 2 years, about a year and a half. And we do talk on the radio. We communicate with our drivers on a radio system. So when I started working, probably about 5 years ago, I had to learn all these 10-9, 10-10s, 10 this, and and everything else. So, and the drivers are pretty used to this. I think Tori came out with some 10s that I had to look up. What does he say on? I would say, what does he say on? So he said he's on a 10. Oh, okay. Oh, we never used that one before. Or we've used it, but Tori was like he was Johnny on the spot and all those things. And he does a great job at just keeping his passengers safe, keeping his bus clean. All of my drivers do, but we do want to recognize you, Ms. Tori. Thank you. Our next recognition goes to our person, we say the extra mile. All of my drivers do this, but we have some that sometimes stand out, and they're willing to pick up those trips, because you have to realize when we drop a person off to an appointment, we don't know what time they're going to be ready. So we call those will calls, and that means they will call us when they're ready. So we have drivers that's always out there. Hey, I'm right here, I can get them, I can do it. So, and all of them do that, but this one particular driver has really stood out in that, and I will call Ms. Christy Vassal to the But like I said, a lot of my drivers, we work well together. I was actually listening on the radio today. Y'all said I had some time, so. I was listening on the radio today, and one of the things that we communicate throughout the radio, and sometimes some of our drivers get stopped by traffic. We get stopped by trains, wrecks, and everything, and it really could just blow your schedule a little bit. So, but everybody's always listening, ready to hey, I'm already in this area. I'm gonna drop somebody off and I can go back there and pick them up. We work so well together. We're just like a well-oiled machine. So I just want to appreciate them, because since I've been working with this team, it has really and truly been a great pleasure. Now, the other award actually goes to someone that couldn't be here tonight. One of our drivers. We start at 4 a.m. in the morning. She actually lives in Broussard, Louisiana, and she commutes here and gets here for 4 o'clock. And our that is our rising star, and that will be going to Keola Stagg. She's not here tonight, but yeah. So I just want to say thank you so much for this service, and they shouldn't have given me the mic. I'm sorry about that, y'all. But I'm not going to take up too much time, but I do want to say working for Human Services is an awesome and rewarding pleasure to do that. And to work under the direction of Mr. Tarek Polite, we really appreciate that.
At this time, sorry. No.
Thank you, Karen. We also we signed a contract to do transportation, specialized transportation, and that is with the Department of Public Safety and Corrections. And we didn't do a video on that because we didn't want to do that, because actually we're working with individuals that's in the reentry program. These are incarcerated individuals that are out and that now need transportation. So we have a specialized transportation program that transports them to wherever they need to go, whether it be training, doctor's appointments, whether it be shopping, or even just in work. So, and we have the pleasure, Ms. Betty Gobert actually dispatches and runs that program for us. We thank you for that, Ms. Betty. And there's 2 drivers that work with that program also. They're not here today. They're part-time drivers, Mr. Kenneth Ross and also Mr. Donald Thibodeau. All right? Did I miss anything? Thanks, Karen.
At this time, I would like to give recognition to Ms. Giselle Jones. our administrative support supervisor, and her team. They have worked tirelessly to gather all the information in this annual report. So thank you, Ms. Giselle. Also, I would like all Human Services and WIOA staff, if you could please stand, we'd like to recognize you as well. Thank you. And of course, none of this would have been possible without our communications team. JP, you and your crew have been amazing to work with. I have all these kooky ideas of what we wanted to do. We put everything together and made these really cool videos, and we're going to be doing a lot more of that information sharing just to really make sure the community understands what all we have to offer in human services and just to brag about ourselves a little bit. So JP and your team, thank you so much. In closing, I would like to thank you all for attending tonight's first annual Community Impact Meeting. For more information on the Human Services Department, which is a part of the Calcasieu Parish Police Jury, there is a QR code in the back of our annual report. You can scan that code for more information about all the services we provide. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.